Friends, we are starting a new book, Paul's Epistle to the Galatians. It's one of the short ones, all of 6 chapters. So it's not going to take us a whole long time to um, do an introduction to Galatians. It is, in spite of the 6 chapters, it is one that is highly influential. Especially when we look at the reformers of the 16th century. Luther, Galatians was highly impactful on Luther's theology. So let's take a look at the big picture here for this epistle. It's a rather simple one. 6 chapters broken down into 3 parts. And I love what it does here. There's some interesting little pieces. The first 2 chapters, the gospel of the crucified Messiah. Sorry about that. I clicked the wrong direction and hit the wrong thing and sent us to a different book. But here we are, back here. So, Paul has to defend his message, his authority, presenting a version of the gospel that sounds different. What is the heart of Paul's gospel? We belong to Jesus who gives of himself for us, and who by doing so causes us to have a place in God, in God's kingdom, in God's fellowship. That's the first 2 chapters. The middle 2 chapters, the gospel. Notice the 3 dots at the end of the gospel of the crucified Messiah. Note these carry over. So chapters 3 and 4, the gospel of the crucified Messiah creates a new multi-ethnic family. It's not a replacement. It's a grafting in. Jews and Gentiles together. As part of the promise to Abraham, the blessing to Abraham as the father of many nations. Well, here comes the many nations part. There's a fair amount of detail in all of this, and we'll touch on this as we read together, but for now, just it's a good opportunity to take note of this big family, this big tent family centered on faith. By the time we get to chapters 5 and 6, the last third, the last set of 2 chapters, the gospel of the crucified Messiah creates a new multi-ethnic family that is transformed by the Spirit. Things are made new. Excuse me. Things are made new. So there's quite a bit in there. The backstory. So Galatia, remember, is a city in Greece. It was a combination of Jews and Gentiles. Jews who had embraced the messianic message of Jesus, and Gentiles who did not become Jews but immediately became Christians. So it is a multi-ethnic family, as described. And there's some debate here. In order to follow Jesus, must one obey the Torah's laws first? You know, circumcision, no pork, keeping the Sabbath. Must these things be more important than following Jesus, or a part of it? Here, a religious leader, Jewish religious leader. Forget Paul, you need to get circumcised. Okay. This story is also told in Acts, as you can see, Acts chapters 13 and 14. And Paul writes about it. And we have that. This, by the way, is one of the letters of Paul that scholars tell us we have no doubt about whether this is of Paul. It is. No doubt. Written by him before his death. So that gives you a little bit of a background on Galatians. We'll start reading Galatians tonight when we pray evening prayers together. 6 chapters. Won't take us long to wind our way through this. Have a blessed Monday, dear friend.